All right, let's get started. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Automating DNS, DHCP, and IPAM with Micetro. I'm Lauren Malhoit, the Director of Technical Content here at Men&Mice, and I am here at Men&Mice here in Iceland. I'll be running this quick 5 or 10-minute video or demo today. This is very informal, so please feel free to ask questions live. I will try to answer them in real time. Today, we're going to go over creating a Postman collection with Micetro API calls. Before we get right to that, though, I do just kind of want to level set on what Micetro is, so you and the APIs that we're looking at. So Micetro is a DNS, DHCP, and IPAM overlay and orchestration solution. So what you get is basically a really easy way to manage your DNS, DHCP, and IPAM, DDI environment, both in the cloud or on premises, from just one GUI or one API, depending on what you're trying to do that day. And of course, today we'll be looking at the APIs. But for example, if you want to create, let's say, some sort of lifecycle workflow or onboarding a service, likely you have applications residing in different places, maybe in AWS, maybe in Azure, maybe on premises. What you can do is just create one workflow through the Micetro APIs, and you don't have to change it depending on where your workloads or your applications reside. In fact, you can even change those underlying services and still continue to use those same consistent and reliable workflows. Okay, let's go ahead and jump over to what you all came to see today. We're in Postman right now. In our previous sessions, we have been in kind of the default My Workspace area. Right now, I've created a special workspace for Maestro. So you can see that, and we're going to concentrate on collections today. And I'll take you through some of the benefits as we talk about the collections. But essentially, what a Postman collection is it's just a group of API calls that you've deemed should be grouped together for some reason. So perhaps they all go to the same API, which would make a lot of sense, right? Because we can also do some things with authorization or authentication here. So if I click on my collection right here called Maestro Basic REST, and I see I'm under authorization, and I've selected basic auth, and then I've entered my username and password. So this is for the whole collection. And then when I dive into, let's say, one of the calls themselves, and I go to authorization, well, automatically by default, inherit auth from parent is selected. So now I don't have to go through and select different authorization types and enter my username and password for all of these calls. So that's just pretty handy. Really easy to do. You can imagine it gets more complex as we build in more calls, right? The other thing that's really nice about having a collection is that we can share them like trading cards. So essentially, all I need to do is click on the right meatball menu, this one here, and then go to export. And then I can go ahead and export this to my local machine, download it to my local machine. I'm not going to do that right now because I've already done it, but as soon as I click export, it's going to give me a JSON file. And then I can go ahead and import that by clicking on Upload Files and then looking for that JSON file. And if I click Open, you'll get to see it right here. You can see it's the Maestro Basic Postman collection. Now, what I've also done here is I've created a little gift for everyone, a little present that you can take away for just for watching this video. So I've actually integrated this particular collection with GitHub. If you're not familiar with GitHub, we do have kind of a beginner's tutorial right here on our automation playlist. If you want to go check that out, there's tons of information out there. It's pretty easy to find. But essentially, what I've done is I've gone into our Men&Mice GitHub page, and I've created a public repository for Postman collections. So when I get in here, I'll click on Postman collections, and I can see those two collections that I had over in my Postman client. So now you can either create a fork, let's say, or a copy, if you will, and fork this over to your own username, to your own GitHub account, and there you can make additions or modifications. You can even create a pull request if you want to add to my repository here, or you can very easily go back, and if we jump into one of these, you can just copy the raw contents here. And if I go to Postman, then I can again click that handy import button. I can do raw text and just do a paste. I've got all my code here. If I click continue, then I see that same collection is going to be imported. So like I said, this is a public repo for all of you to use. I highly recommend just jumping in and getting started, seeing what it looks like. We've got, your get, your post, your put, and your delete calls, everything that you could possibly want to get started. And of course, use the automation playlist to help you along as well. We'll continue adding to this collection and create some more advanced workflows and things like that. If you have any suggestions for us, please let us know. We'd love to hear what would add the most value to your environment. And if you start creating some amazing workflows, send them over. Let us see them. We'd love to highlight your genius in one of our blogs or in a live demo or anything like that. So thanks everyone for joining, and we'll see you next week.